Discover solutions to issues that affect your family and professional life with practical information to help you get past life's adversities. Take a proactive approach to power up your life with Rosalie's expert resources.
The past 5 years have been the worst economy of our lifetime. An American Bankers Association study shows the average household credit card debt was about $7,200. That's down $2,000 since the peak in 2009. And revealed consumers with overdue credit cards, auto loans, and other debt dropped last year to a 5-year low. The Federal Reserve also found the average American household spends about 11% of its disposable income to wipe out all past debts. Finance expert FARNOOSH TORABI joins us with some tips to take control of our finances. Good morning, FARNOOSH.
Thank you, Rosalie. Thank you for having me.
So let's start from the past. Are consumers becoming more fiscally responsible?
But I think that there is sort of this increased fiscal responsibility just because the memories of the recession are all too severe and recent. And so as a result, we're really trying to be more conservative and putting our finances at the top of the to-do list.
Are consumers getting credit cards even with prior debt?
The lesson here is that it's not the credit cards that are dangerous, it's the user behind the credit cards. If you're somebody who is fearful of credit cards, it's probably because you don't really trust yourself enough to own a credit card. I mean, a credit card is just a piece of plastic, but if you're somebody who has a spending problem or has some issues with debt in the past, you might have the fear of opening up new credit. But the fact is, the credit lines are opened. People are looking for additional ways to even be rewarded with credit. There are a lot of new credit cards out there offering various rewards for consumers, looking whether it's for cash back, travel rewards, or in some cases, incentives to pay off their balances more rapidly and more aggressively. For example, I've partnered with Bank of America, Rosalie, and they've got a new card out called the Bank of America Better Balance Reward Card. And essentially, if you're somebody who's carrying a balance, which so many of us do, more than half of us do on a credit card, you will be incentivized to pay more than just the minimum, which is a great thing because it'll get you out of debt quicker. The bank will actually give you $25 per quarter every month for that you consecutively pay off for every month that you consecutively pay more than the minimum.
FARNOOSH, what's your top 5 tips on how to maintain healthy financial habits?
You obviously need to sort of figure out what your goals are. You have to kind of just write them down, visualize your goals. You need to automate. I think it's really important that you're not so overwhelmed with bills that you can sort of get on a system where you make a decision once to pay a bill every month at the same time and it just happens for you and you can sleep well at night. You want to be able to maybe bring in a little bit more money. I think that in addition to having budgetary issues, people have income problems in this country. So figuring out an additional revenue stream on the weekends or over, after you come home from work even, people are tutoring, they're pet sitting, they're renting out a spare bedroom to just bring in that extra revenue. I'd also say you want to share your goals with others. A survey actually found that savers who share their goals and their savings strategy with family and friends, they hold themselves more accountable and they're more likely to follow through with their goals. They're 3 times more likely to save, and they save about twice as much as folks who just kind of keep it to themselves. And then I would just say, have a really honest kind of evaluation of what are my needs, what are my wants. If you do have a spending problem, it probably means you have to kind of go back and take out a few bills, take out a few expenses. And that's a hard decision, but I think if you have those goals in mind and you've now held yourself accountable, hopefully those needs and wants will be more readily aware to you.
My dad's one of the producers, so he's there tonight. Bring this sweet.
2 seconds. Hang on, just stand still. Stand still, love. 1 second. I know. Just hang on. Okay, go, go, go. No. Boys, hang on, boys.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Today we bank online or dash to the ATM, and that personal friendly relationship consumers had in the past with neighborhood bankers is history. Like the 1946 movie, It's a Wonderful Life, starring James Stewart as George Bailey, a neighborhood banker who trusted their customers to pay back their loans without much collateral. Banking expert Ryan Bailey, not related to George, joins us with a checklist of key characteristics consumers should expect from their bank. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. There's no shortage of banks in Florida. So what should consumers know before opening up a bank account?
Yeah, so I think the most important thing is to find a bank that meets your needs and is right for you. Everybody banks differently.
Tell us about the results of a new banking survey released and what consumers really need.
So here at TD Bank, we conducted a survey that really found out customers are much less stressed with their finances when they're happy with their bank. And what I mean by happy is that they have legendary customer service, that they have knowledgeable and friendly staff.
What kind of banking habits can influence our choice of a bank to do business?
Convenience is key, so you got to have a bank that's right for you. For instance, some people like to just bank online or via mobile, and others want to walk into a branch. So we're open 7 days a week. We're open until 8 every night when you're out of work and actually can go to a bank.
What did the survey find out about consumers who are stressed out?
So customers are definitely less stressed when they're happy with their bank. And actually what we found out is customers spend 1 less hour a week worrying about their finances when they're happy with their bank.
Learn more about banking regulations from the Florida Office of Financial Regulations at www.flofr.com or call 850-IT'S-YOUR-MONEY. Are you taking a car loan out for hot new wheels, or you need a more fuel-efficient family vehicle? We have the inside track to the hottest models for the next year's cars, trucks, and concept vehicles. Here to give us a glimpse into the future of automotive design and technology from the New York International Auto Show is Micha Musio from Kelley Blue Book. So what are some of the coolest and biggest new trends in car styles for 2014?
It's a beautiful day at the show, and I'm standing in front of a Mazda 6, which kind of gives you a good sense of where the industry is going as a whole. You'd mentioned fuel economy, and the Mazda 6 is definitely taking fuel economy to new levels for a mid-size sedan. 38 miles per gallon on the freeway, so exceptional fuel economy and a car that looks really cool and is actually pretty fun to drive. In fact, I spent some time driving one just a couple weekends ago. If that's not enough, there's another car that has been reintroduced to America, the Mitsubishi Mirage. It's a name that we remember from a few years back, but it's come back in a subcompact form, so it's a little tiny 5-seater. But what's exceptional about the Mirage is 44 mile per gallon fuel economy on the freeway when you have the CVT, and that's the most efficient non-hybrid gasoline powered car that you'll be able to buy.
Is fuel economy the new trend?
Absolutely, yeah. Fuel economy is the overriding message of the auto show. You see it with every single manufacturer. That's why 38 miles per gallon in a mid-size sedan is ridiculous. And a couple of ways they're achieving that, they're pulling weight. Every time you go to one of these car introductions and you see them unveil a new car, they're talking about making them lighter, which is exactly the opposite of a trend that had happened for decades. But absolutely, fuel economy is important.
Can lighter be safer?
Can be safer, absolutely. Some of the ways that they do that, higher strength steel, using weird stuff like magnesium and boron, and more exotic metallurgy is allowing manufacturers. In fact, aluminum is huge too. Using lighter materials, cleverly crafted to be both strong and yet help get those fuel economy figures we need to hit.
From a design standpoint, why is this a thrilling time for the automotive industry?
Well, there's a ton of great designs out here. In fact, that's some of the best fun you can have at the auto show is looking at the cool designs. So, one car that's an interesting one that you might not expect, the Hyundai Equus. It's a full-size luxury sedan from Hyundai, and it's made to compete with very attractive sedans like the Audi A8 and the Lexus LS. The interesting thing about the Hyundai, so you get this awesome 429 horsepower V8, but it looks fantastic. It's got a very nice presence about it. So a really nice car that they've introduced a refreshed version of. So some really cool style out there. On the other end of the spectrum, you might not think it, but one of the cars that I think is cool out here is the Honda Odyssey. They've introduced a revised 2014 model, and it's cool. Not necessarily. I mean, it's a minivan, although they've certainly added some really cool safety features to it. But it has a vacuum built into the vehicle itself. It's got a long enough hose that not only can you clean the entire interior of the Odyssey, but you can actually stretch it over to the other car in your garage and clean that out too.
How about practicality in a family sedan design?
In terms of selection, there's never been a better time to be a mid-size buyer. And the thing is, they're all getting really, really good. So each manufacturer is trying to stand out in front of the others by adding more technology. The kind of stuff that makes you feel good as a parent driving, that you'll have the safety you want while driving around with your kids.
How about sexy new models for the younger consumers?
I wouldn't normally peg myself as a Camaro guy, but I was looking at the thing. Sexy design and 500 horsepower, at least 500 horsepower, built for the track, just like the coolest thing out here. Really great. Oh, and I should also mention the Cadillac CTS, fully redesigned for 2014. And I've talked to a lot of other journalists around here, universally agree that's a beautiful car, beloved. So Cadillac, a lot of the American manufacturers, in fact, doing some really great work.
According to the Sun Sentinel, an average South Florida wedding can cost as much as a new SUV, or more, depending on honeymoon venue, wedding rings, dress, reception, and more. And planning the wedding is a huge undertaking. Here, with some finishing touches, is Anya Winnica, site director of The Knot.
Good morning.
I planned my wedding last year as a beach destination wedding, since I lived there, and that's where my friendship began with my husband. What are some deciding factors for brides to consider when planning their wedding?
Well, you just said it. Think about what's special to you. So for you is the beach. For some, they're like totally into fashion. So focus on that beautiful dress. Pick your priorities, and then look for ways to save in the other categories, and you can pull off a beautiful wedding that's so you.
Weddings are very expensive, and it's tough to keep the guest list down without hurting anyone's feelings. So give us some tips to find those great deals from ceremonies to receptions.
Yeah, it can be tough, but once again, it's all about your priorities, and then looking for little sneaky ways to save. You can find tons of tips like that on theknot.com. One of the hard things to do is to find a bridal party gift. That's actually something I'm struggling. I'm getting married in a couple of months. I'm struggling with myself. But bridesmaids, tend to you want to get them something personal, but also something pretty. So jewelry is a good way to go, right? So Pandora actually has a lot of good options. It's really affordable and looks luxe. There's these leather bracelets here that you can add charms to, depending on what her personality is. They also have cute stackable rings. And they also have cute flower girl bracelets. You can add cute little charms.
So how can we suggest to our guests what we really need?
Register early and look for a place that has a ton of different options. So Bed Bath & Beyond is a good option because they have a ton of products. They've got the toasters, they've also got the fine dining stuff, and they have all the little fun things that you may not have known you even needed.
How about a stress-free, romantic, luxurious honeymoon that's close to Florida?
Everyone wants a beach. They want a tropical destination. The Bahamas is a good option because there's 16 different islands within the Bahamas, and they all have their own personality to choose from, right? So there's Paradise Island, there's the Exumas, and there's hotels there that really have great offerings. You can do the water sports and the snorkeling, or you can do the candlelit dinners, kind of something for everything. Maybe he is really active and she wants to just lay on the beach. You've got it there. At theknot.com with all the checklists and things, and one of the things I love about it, The Knot, is that we have a lot of trends that we're always trend spotting for you. One idea is a reception video. Couples can go to sites like animoto.com, upload their photos, create in 15 minutes, create a quick video to show their guests, showcase their love story. It's a fun idea, and that's just it. You want to get really fun and personal with everything, and all those planning ideas and advice at theknot.com.
The cost of a vacation varies on the level of luxury, where you're going, length of stay, seasonal rates, cost for tours, transportations, and dining, and it all can make for a tricky travel budget. An average family of 4 spends about $4,000 on a Florida vacation. But don't fantasize about those luxury vacation hotspots without listening to celebrity style expert and author of The Power of Style, Bobbie Thomas. She joins us with tips to enjoy a superstar getaway on any budget. Good morning, Bobbie.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Vacations are a luxury in today's economy, so how can we splurge on unique getaways without the big price tag?
I think one of my first tips is to consider membership programs. Celebrities travel frequently, and don't kid yourself, they're not always getting the free upgrade. They know how to work the point system, and I'm excited to team up with Hilton Honors. When you book 5 consecutive nights, you get the 5th night free. And that's just a great example how a loyalty program like this can really help you save from the start. You know, another tip of mine, when you are on vacation, to kind of cut costs, like you said, on dining out, it's great to have that dinner, that meal that is going to be special, but maybe when it's breakfast or snack time, instead of spending a little extra, you might want to consider stashing a power bar in your purse. I like Fiber One, but those can really be extras that you don't consider, like you said, in the budget. One of my other favorite things is to share my travel packing secrets, because honestly, not only do I have to pack for myself, but my beautiful models. And so I want to spend the least amount of money as possible and save space. And so my favorite thing to give as a tip is to stop in the swim section before you go to the dress section, because Melanie is a great example. She has this beautiful long caftan on, and this is something that's like a gown on the beach, but you'll see she has some leggings and sandals, and so she can really wear that shopping or to dinner as well. Of course, Jenny has one of my favorite pieces that I wear almost anywhere, but especially when I travel. It's like my adult blanket, a cardi wrap. This is so cozy to wrap up on the plane, but at the same time, by bringing this along, you've got 6 other alternative tops. She just twisted the front and tied it in the back to give you sort of this really chic knot alternative. She could even turn this around and wear it backwards and twist it, and that's just a great thing to have when you might run through your supply of sundresses. I definitely recommend leaving the expensive jewelry behind, because a scarf, while it's versatile and it can be for some people a headband or a sarong, I like tying my scarf in a knot for a pop of color and a statement necklace. This is just another great secret, so you don't have to add makeup for color, you get the color there. Bring shoes that are your skin tone. Not only are they flattering and they'll elongate your leg, but they match you so that it'll go with anything in your wardrobe. And of course, who wants to stash all of those beauty products when you're going away? Because not only do you not want to carry them, but you don't want to spend all that time in the bathroom. I have a lot of hair, so one of my favorite things right now happens to be this Fun Bun by Easy Hair. It's like a scrunchie with hair. It's not a chia pet. And it's easy to just toss your hair up and have the perfect updo in seconds.
How do you encourage people to use their style as a powerful voice?
What you wear says so much about you. And so I think it's really important to embrace the power of style in more ways than one. You want to think about where you're going and look in the mirror and ask yourself, what am I trying to say? If you're interested in meeting somebody, is your look approachable? If you're interested in a promotion, does what you're wearing say that you're responsible and trustworthy? And those are just simple questions that you can ask. But the most important thing that we've all heard about, and it's kind of hard to really let it sink in, is confidence. Style is so much more than stuff. It's not about the fashion and beauty, that's part of it. But true style is about the experience of you, what impression you leave on other people. So you gotta give yourself a break, especially women staring at me here at a resort with bathing suits and a pool. That can raise anxiety. So I really want to encourage women to love what's under the dress. It's tough to stand naked in a mirror and accept what you see, but you have to value what you see, because if you don't value something, you're not going to want to invest in it and give yourself the worth that goes along with all of that to really have true style. And that's what it's really all about. So get that confidence by not beating yourself up, love yourself, and then just think about what you want to share with the world, because what you wear is an advertisement for that.
This is one amazing truffula tree. Can you imagine a place where these grow everywhere? Yes, it's called the forest, a magical place to enjoy with your family. Ooh. So discover the forest and explore all the wonder that's there. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
That's low. That's low and below.
Look, he's blushing.
Seriously. Okay.
Estimates show millions of American men have low testosterone, or low T, a chronic medical condition, and they're not even aware of it. So to encourage men to get in the game and understand the symptoms associated with this condition, former professional football player Daryl Johnson is speaking out for the first time about his personal experience, along with men's health expert Dr. Harry Fish. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Rosalie.
Good morning, Rosalie.
Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us this morning with this very difficult subject that men don't want to talk about. Daryl, why have you come out to create this awareness about low testosterone?
Well, actually, I was very surprised to get the diagnosis, Rosalie, that I was actually suffering from low T. I'd actually kept a very active and healthy lifestyle after retiring from the NFL. So to learn that was very surprising. So we've partnered with AbbVie and we've created the campaign Get in the Game. And I want to encourage men to be more proactive and to take charge of their health.
Dr. Fish, Daryl is an exception to the rule by reaching out to his doctor. What are some of the symptoms of low T?
Well, as you said before, millions of men have low testosterone, and the symptoms are quite straightforward. If you have excessive fatigue, if you've gained weight, particularly around your belly, if you have a depressed mood or sexual dysfunction, you're at a higher risk of having low T. And it turns out, Rosalie, that if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, and increased cholesterol levels, and even lung disorders such as COPD or asthma, you're at a much higher chance of having low T. And it's to these men that I say, look, go to the doctor, talk to your doctor about your symptoms, and if appropriate, get tested for low T. It's a simple blood test.
Oh, I think all health-related topics are very touchy for men, but you know, the big point here is to get them to take charge and to be proactive. And for me, you know, with the low T situation, it was impacting my life on a daily basis. You know, the fatigue that I was having was impacting my exercise routines. You know, I wasn't able to finish my workouts, and all of a sudden you start to validate and justify, well, maybe this is just a bad day or a bad week, and you shorten your workouts, you start to skip your workouts. So number one, I think the big thing for me was to have that honest conversation with myself and say, you know, am I just at that stage in my life where this is the way things are going to be? I'm not going to be able to do some of the things that I had done when I was younger, and I wasn't ready to accept that at this time. So, you know, I do something that most men won't do. I picked up the phone, I called my doctor, made the appointment, and it was appropriate for me at that time to get tested for low T.
Why are men in denial and try to hide their low T in their love life?
Well, I think the big thing is to start to change some of the stereotypes that revolve around men and their health, and start to become proactive. There's a great website out there, isitlowt.com, and you can go onto the website, you can look at the symptoms, and you can judge for yourself. Are you suffering from one or more of those symptoms? And if so, we want you to call your doctor and make that appointment and go have that open and honest conversation. It's things that we don't tend to do, but this is important. You know, this is something that I encourage all men to do. If you go onto that site and you see some of these symptoms and you're suffering from them, make that call to your doctor and go in and have that conversation. If appropriate, get tested for low T at that time.
What I love is you make up a good point. Men are in denial, denial, denial. And anything women can do to get their guy to the doctor is helpful. You know, I like to say that guys take care of their cars better than they take care of their own health. So if your husband or boyfriend is bringing the car in for a tune-up and you see some of the symptoms, good time to bring up the point of going to the doctor. At that point, going with them together is even better. So Rosalie, you make such a good point. But our goal is to get men to take control of their own lives and be more independent and understand that we're breaking the stereotypes, that it's okay to go see the doctor.
Thank you, Daryl and Dr. Fish, for opening up this conversation on low T and helping women get their man out to the doctor. Mortgage debt makes up the largest portion of our $11.34 trillion consumer debt, as many Floridians continue to pay off old debt every month. Identify your priorities before taking on new debt. A new car or a getaway will not elevate your quality of life if you can't afford them. Remember, your greatest asset is the self-confidence you have within, and how you can enrich your life and those you love. Share with us how you and your family stay debt-free on facebook.com/rose.lee or visit us at roseleearchershow.com. See you next week. Will the solutions to this show's issues help you or a loved one? Find shows like this and others on our website at roseleearchershow.com.